Well, today I stand before you. I see myself as a politician, but I won't make justice without making reference to the father of Gambian politics, who is no other person but Edward Francis Small. One of his slogans is, and I quote, "There is no taxation without representation." Those are my literature students, that is it. Because the man himself stood for justice and transparency, because the ruling system that was in the Gambia was not just. And today, the individual who stood before you is here to give you those qualities of an Auditor General who is supposed to work for the betterment of this education body. All right. I am standing before you today to give you some of my policies. But before I move into my policies, I want to acknowledge or greet Honorable Electoral Commissioners, the 13th Executive Council, wonderful Student Serving Council, eloquent, action-oriented, level-headed candidates. Team Renaissance, I greet you. But based on my greetings, I have to look up to the general public that are here today. The beautiful ladies and gentlemen, I greet you all. All right. I chose this position today not just because of I am aspiring to serve education, students in this university. One must know something in mind, that this is one of the highest institutions in the Gambia, and if you are to serve your students, which means your integrity matters, which means you have to serve with truth, honest, and justice, so that you will make sure that the financial transaction of the union is well managed. You will make sure that every executive members, based on their policies, they are well executed as promised by the executive members present here today. Well, fellow EDUSANs, what I have here before you are my policies, but I see it as my guiding principles that will guide me to execute my work as expected when I am voted in office. And these principles that I have here, they are not just mere principles. They are something that I drafted from the responsibility of an Auditor General in EDUSA Constitution, that is in section 20. And one of my policy that I have here, or principle, that is the performance audit of the executive members. You see, it is essential that every individual to know, whenever you are serving the students, you have to serve with honest, truth, and justice. As an Auditor General, probably the size might be small, but the Auditor General is expected to scrutinize or to examine every executive members from the president up to the last person without fear or favor. That is my responsibility. And I am telling the EDUSANs, whenever I am given the opportunity to serve you for the upcoming election as 14th Executive Council, I will make sure that all these politicians that are seated here, they execute their policies as expected, because I do not work in an organization or department that does not stand for justice. Second policy that I have, or principle, that is based on the observation of finance and administrative operations. You see, whenever you are to draft a policy or principle, you need to try and connect it with your responsibility. How am I going to obtain this policy? I need to get every information that it requires with the finance minister. You see, one thing I like about the EDUSA constitution is it is well synchronized. And whenever there is synchronized system, there is effective operation of the union. So in making sure any financial withdrawals or deposit, which means that I should be aware because I stood for the students, not for them that are in office. That is to tell you that I will serve the students of the education student to the best of my abilities. All right. Before going to the third policy of mine, one thing is there, that is accountability in finance and administrative operations. Very essential and crucial. Today, I am happy to stand before you to thank the 13th Executive Council for providing this podium and the PA system with the cooking utensils. When we talk about accountability, which means any material that we have in office need to be well utilized and managed for the next generation to be able to use it. In conclusion, all right. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Peter EDUSA, for your submission. So, we going to receive the other candidate who is equally qualified for the same position, who is silence. Yeah, so we're going to call the other candidate who is qualified for the same position, who is no other but Honorable Ibrahim Keita. Welcome.
I will start by saying, whatever belongs to EDUSA belongs to all EDUSANs. And EDUSANs deserve to know what belongs to them. How many people are here? We don't know the materials that belongs to EDUSA. And there are a lot of things that belongs to EDUSA and EDUSANs don't know. Is it a single pen that belongs to EDUSA? EDUSANs should know that this pen belongs to EDUSANs. But before going further, members of the high table, the 13th Executive Council, members of the Legislative Council, my fellow contestant, I said good afternoon to you all. My name is Ibrahim Keita, a 400 level geography major and economic minor student. I stand before you today to declare myself as an approved candidate on the team SSC in the upcoming EDUSA elections. I am one of the candidates. I will tell you who has done almost all his academic career in the provinces. In fact, I sometimes refer myself as the provincial boy, because what I believe in, what Combo people can have in Combo, provincial students can, or people can also have it, provided that the right institutions and resources are there. But I start my schooling in the provinces, do everything in the provinces, and later proceeded to the Gambia College. From the Gambia College, I went back to serve my people in the provinces and later come back to the University of the Gambia to pursue my degree. But before I bother you with a lot of biography and educational background of Mr. Keita, I would just like to tell you about some of the policies that I have for you, and if I am voted into office, inshallah, they will be implemented to the fullest. One, if I am voted into office, I will make sure that, or I am assuring all of you, that financial statement, I mean correct one, not only financial statements, but correct financial statements are taken and kept from all ministries. That is to say, all inflow outflow, and of course, balance sheet of EDUSA finance will be recorded. From there, sometimes you see these politicians that you are seeing. Sometimes they are involved in frauds, and they will take it to be a mistake. I am somebody who have done it for associations whereby I will make sure that whenever there is fraud, whenever there is mistake, I detect it. And I promise you, if I am put into office, all mistakes and fraud that is this executive council, the upcoming or incoming executive council is involved in, I will detect it. I have the knowledge. I have what it takes to detect it. From there, I also promise all of you that whenever I am, or if I am voted into office, I will do my auditing in compliance with the constitution of EDUSA. EDUSA already gives functions to all the Auditor General, that is in section 20, whereby it is clearly stated that you must be advising the Executive Council. You must give a report at least once in every 3 months. You must be able to report to the executive of the individual performance of this executive. And I promise all of you, whatever the constitution said in terms of audit, if you want to know exactly what my policies are, so that if I am voted into office, you hold me accountable, I think we have to listen and know exactly this is what Mr. Keda is saying. Whenever I am voted into office, I will make sure that the audit standard, how it is dictated by the constitution, is duly followed. From there, we have what we call operational efficiency. This is the only person that makes sure or that control other areas. And of course, I will make sure that other ministries follow what is expected of them. And in terms of transparency, all of you need to know the materials that EDUSA have. All of you need to know the finances that EDUSA have. Sometimes when people are giving, let's say, reports, how they do it is not correct. You speak using English language, using accountancy terms. There are a lot of us here. Sometimes when accounting terms are used, we don't understand, but we feel shy to ask because people will say we are at the level of the university. We have Islamic students, we have French students. I am fluent in English language. I can speak Mandinka, I can speak Wolof, and I can speak Fula. And I make sure a majority of the people understand these languages. I have what it takes to do it. And my last policy here is, it has to do with something that all of you will listen. It affects all of us, both commissioners, legislative council, that is the 13 executive council, and all students. You see, let us be here. You see, sometimes people will say, I know that is not my role, but I have what it takes to do it, and I want to do it. People will be saying sometimes examination is not the yardstick to measure someone's ability, but at the level of the university it is. And then the way examination is done at BPA and EDUSA is different. I have what it takes for EDUSA to have it the way it is done in BPA.